पुण्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Sri Sri Gaura Nitai. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Shri Shri Guru Nitai Gaur Premanande, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Now the difficult thing is to close it. We'll do it later.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Today I'm honored and pleased to introduce my one-time inspiration, His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. So, just quick round of applause for Hari Parshad Prabhu. For those who don't know about Hari Parshad Prabhu, he's a world-renowned scholar, known for his scholarly prowess, and sits on the GBC Shastra Committee. In addition to his famous lecture series, which can be found all over YouTube, he's also an author who has published his account of Hari Suriji's work in his book Bhakti Rasayana, under the guidance of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. The last time Hari Parshad Prabhu came, nearly a year ago, he spoke on Japa, Kirtan, and Smaran from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and took us through the benefits of each process, how they should be done, and how we can apply them to our daily lives. Today, he will be speaking about the most formidable flow. So please, once again, give Prabhuji a loud Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mahabhav Prabhu, for kindly introducing me. And thank you to all the wonderful devotees who have assembled here. Thank you, each and every one of you, for kindly being present here. My special thanks to Ram Vijay Prabhu, Lalita Madhvi Mataji, Mahabhav, Gitamrita, the entire family, for kindly organizing my visit here. I'm very grateful that by their arrangement, I've been able to come and speak here. I'm very thankful to them, as well as to the other devotees who are managing the temple. Thank you to each and every one of you who are kindly present here. Dear devotees, today I am going to speak upon overcoming the most formidable foe. What is the meaning of the term foe, dear devotees? Anybody knows? Enemy. So amongst all the anarthas, all the difficulties that sadhakas have in their spiritual life, which is the greatest difficulty to overcome? Anger, lust. So dear devotees, today I'll be trying to speak upon that, all right? And the conclusion is that it is very difficult to overcome lust, all right? Everybody understood? That's it, end of lecture. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, that's it. That's the conclusion. Hai na? Don't you agree, Mahabhav Prabhu? Yes? 100%. The dear devotees, no, but we are not going to give up so easily. Try we must. Therefore, I'll try. But before I begin, there is Shishta Parampara, tradition established by the previous acharyas to perform Mangalacharan, auspicious invocations. Auspicious invocations are done to ensure that there are no obstacles in the execution of the event. So most of the obstacles, Mangalacharan will take care of. Some obstacles we can take care of. Most importantly, we can try to see if our mobile phones are in silent mode, dear devotee. That obstacle we can take care of. So I just took care of that myself. So I cannot say to others unless I have done it myself. Dear devotees, kindly keep your phones on silent mode. Let us perform Mangalacharan and then we'll begin. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Panchabhi sah sthatavyam gantavyam panchabhi sah vaktavyam na dukkham panchabhi sah. It is said panchabhi sah sthatavyam. If you want to stay at one place, stay with at least 5 people. Because if you have an argument or quarrel with one person, there are 4 other people to talk to still. Gantavyam panchabhi saha. If you travel somewhere, you should travel with at least how many people? 5. Because if you fall in some difficulty, there are 5 people to protect you. And panchabhi saha vaktavyam. If you want to give a talk, there should be at least how many people in the audience? But so many are there today. Na dukkham panchabhi saha. There is no unhappiness if 5 are present, but today I see more than 30, 35, so my happiness is multiplied 7 times. I got my maths correct, na? My happiness is multiplied 7 times. Thank you, dear devotees, for kindly being here. It is Vaishnav culture established by the previous acharyas. One should not begin a particular talk without glorifying the audience. So I cannot take my audience for granted. All of you are present here, and I cannot think that because all of you are sitting below, therefore, I can say whatever I want to say and I can take your time for granted. No. It is important to glorify a Vaishnava audience because a Vaishnava audience is not easily available. Dear devotees, all of you are very glorious because the previous acharyas have written many verses glorifying a Vaishnava audience. Here is one such verse. You can see on the screen. Kindly repeat after me. Kavayah paritushyanti netare kavi suktibhi nahyakupar vatkupa vardhante vidhukanti. Kavayah paritushyanti. Only broad-minded Vaishnavas, poets like you, are satisfied. Na itare, other non-devotees will not be satisfied with such a presentation. Why? Kavi sukti bihi. Because today we are going to discuss a lot of things from the previous kavis, from the previous acharyas. So in order to appreciate the previous kavis, the previous acharyas, you need kavis in the audience. You need Vaishnavas in the audience. So only broad-hearted Vaishnavas will be satisfied by hearing the words of the previous broad-hearted Vaishnavas. Na itare. Others will not be satisfied. Na hi akupara vatkupa. The example is given. Vardhante vidhu kantibhi. Vidhu is the full moon. When the full moon arises, dear devotees, it is only the broad-hearted ocean which swells, not the narrow-minded well. Although both contain water, only the broad-hearted ocean swells, not the narrow-minded well. Dear devotees, all of your hearts are just like the ocean. Do you agree, yes or no? See, all of you are humble, so you will not say yes. But I will prove it. If I prove to you that your heart is exactly like an ocean, then will you agree? Yes, chalo, I will prove to you. I will give you a few qualities of ocean. Please tell me if the qualities are true or not. Okay? First, the ocean is very deep. Yes or no? Yes. The Vaishnava's heart is very deep. Yes or no? Don't be humble. Say yes or no. Acha, no problem. The ocean it is very difficult to cross over the other ocean and find out what is on the other side. Yes or no? Yeah. It is very difficult to cross over the heart of a Vaishnava and find what is hidden inside. Yes or no? Oh, wonderful. Dear devotees, the ocean usually does not cross its fixed boundaries. Yes or no? Yes. The devotees also, their hearts don't cross the fixed boundaries of sadhan bhakti. Do you agree? Yes. Now, dear devotees, the ocean is a place of residence for Bhagavan. Agreed? And your hearts are also a residence for Bhagavan. Agreed? Oh, wonderful. Now, please tell me, isn't your heart exactly like the ocean? Arey, abhi to bolo, huh? Ab to bolo itna. After proving so much, I shouldn't have to ask you, huh? So, dear devotees, I cannot take my audience for granted. All of you are present here as the Vaishnava audience. Thank you so much for kindly being present here today. I need somebody to speak the translation, somebody who has a good enough voice. You have a good enough voice, Prabhu? Yes. Prabhu, kindly read the translation so everybody should be able to hear.
Only broad-minded poets experience delight and satisfaction by listening to poetry composed
never feel it. It is only the broad ocean that swells in the rays of the full moon and never the narrow wells.
Yes. The devotees will begin with a quote from Srila Prabhupada about anarthas, and then we will go to the most important anartha. What is the most important anartha, dear devotees? Lust. Yes, lust is the gross anartha which is most difficult to overcome. In Sanskrit, we have a nyaya called as Pradhan Malla Nyaya, the logic of the main wrestler. If you have 100 wrestlers who are coming to fight against you, you should first fight which wrestler? The strongest one. If you are able to defeat the strongest one, what will happen to the other 99? Yeah, they will not bother to trouble you. So, Prabhupada says something, Prabhu kindly read loudly.
Liberation from material contamination is called anartha nivritti, indicating a diminishing of all unwanted things. This is the test of development in devotional service. If one actually develops the devotional attitude, he must be free from the material contamination of illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and eating. These are the preliminary symptoms. When one is free from all material contamination, his firm faith in devotional service awakens.
All right, dear devotees, now please tell me, how do we overcome these various contaminations which are caused due to breaking 4 regulative principles? Can you give me a few answers? Chanting, okay. Prabhu, your good name? Tribhanga Gopal. Wow, what a nice name. Tribhanga Gopal Prabhu. Tribhanga Gopal Prabhu says chanting. Huh? Very nice. Chalo, we noted it down. Anybody else? Service. Okay. Prabhuji said service. All right. Prabhu, your good name? Huh? Haridaswari. Oh, wow. All devotees have very nice names here. Okay. Haridaswari. Prabhu said service. Acha. But Prabhu, I should tell you something. I am chanting for so many years. Service also, many years. But what to do? Something doesn't seem to work, at least in my case. I don't know, I can't take others from, at least I can speak for myself. Something doesn't seem to work. Huh? I should be humble. That is also important. I should be humble. Yes, okay. Okay. I have noted all the answers down, Prabhus. We should understand, dear devotees, that our enemy is all powerful. So powerful that the previous poets have written verses to glorify our enemy. Here is a nice verse, dear devotees, which glorifies our enemy. First, we should estimate the strength of the enemy. Before we go fighting, we should first estimate the strength of our enemy. All right? Please repeat after me. Ekam vastu dvidha kartum bahavah santi dhanvinah jayatyekah smaro dhanvi Dvayor aikyam karoti yah. So the second line says, Bahavaha santi dhanvidan. There are many expert bowmen, archers in the world who can do something. What can they do? Ekam vastu dvidha kartum. They will, using their arrows, they can split one object into 2. Bahava, many experts are there like this. But Jayati, all glories. Eko, there's only one archer in this world. Smaraha, Kamadev, lust personified. What does he do? Dvayor aikyam. Through his arrows, he combines 2 into 1, dear devotees. This is the glory of lust or Kama. This is the translation. Prabhu, kindly read.
There are many expert bowmen in this world capable of splitting an object into 2 using their sharp arrows. All glories, however, to that expert bowman named Cupid, who unites 2 into 1 through his arrows.
And then, dear devotees, in order to defeat this particular Kamadev, people try so many things, like so many suggestions were given. Japa, service. One fine day, somebody can decide, from today I will eat less.
Because Mahaprabhu, all the senses are in one straight line. If I eat less, then I will get less strength in body. If I have less strength in body, automatically my enemy will be curbed. Isn't it so? Yes. Dear devotees, when devotees try to find so many solutions, somebody is laughing in the corner. Kamadev laughs in the corner, dear devotees, because Kamadev has something to say. In Mahabharata, there is a section called as Kama Gita, which specifies what Kamadev thinks about individuals who want to overcome it by various techniques such as japa or service, etc. This is what he says. Naham shakyo nupayena hantum bhutena kenachid yo mam prayatate hantum gyatva praharane balam tasya tasmin praharane punah pradurbhavamyaham. Kamadev, Cupid personified himself, is saying something. Please hear, dear devotees, very important. He says, Naham shakyo anupayena hantum. I cannot be killed by any means. Kenachit, by anybody. Yo mam prayatate hantum. Anybody who tries to slaughter me, anybody who tries to conquer me. Gyatva praharane balam, thinking that this technique is very strong. For example, somebody says japa is very strong, so I will use japa to conquer lust. Or service is very strong, I will use service to conquer lust. Kamadev says, tasya tasmin praharane punah pradurbhavami. I enter into that very means that they are using to conquer me, and using that very means I end up conquering them. For example, today I may think, oh, I am affected by lust so much, I should increase my chanting from 16 rounds to how many rounds? 32 rounds. So from tomorrow, I will chant 32 rounds. And then tomorrow I start chanting. And after 16 rounds, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Kamadev enters the very process of japa. And then suddenly I am thinking about Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, that Mataji at temple, very nice. She has nice service attitude. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. I hope you are able to understand. So that very means that we use to conquer lust, enter into that very particular means and ends up conquering us. In this way, lust is unconquerable in the three worlds. Kindly read the translation, Prabhuji.
Cannot be slain by anyone, by any existing being. If a person should seek to slay me, putting their trust in the strength of any means, then I appeared in that very means and conquered them instead.
Dear devotees, many devotees wish to conquer lust or kama. The reason being that by conquering lust, they think they will attain vairagya. Does anybody know what is the meaning of vairagya? Detachment. And after we attain vairagya, we will progress on the path of bhakti. And after we progress on the path of bhakti, we will attain the final goal of bhakti. That is, we will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Isn't that the final goal of bhakti, dear devotees? Yes? Many devotees, they want to cultivate vairagya very soon, because they know the sooner we cultivate vairagya, renunciation, the better our chances are of attaining the goal. What is the goal? Goloka Vrindavan, going back home, back to Godhead. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami says, please stop and analyze the attitude once again. Sri Rupa Goswami has something very wonderful to say. Please hear what Rupa Goswami says. Rupa Goswami defines what is incorrect vairagya in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Please repeat after me. Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunah mumukshubhi parityago vairagyam phalgu kathyate. Vairagyam Phalgu. How many of us have heard Phalgu Vairagya? Yes. What is the meaning of Phalgu Vairagya, dear devotees? False renunciation. Acha. Very nice, Mataji. The term Phalgu has a specific meaning. What is the meaning of Phalgu? In Bihar, there is a river. The name of the river is Phalgu. In Bihar, there is a river. The name of the river is Phalgu. In that river, you will see, on top of the river, there is sand. But if you dig a little deep, underneath there is water flowing. It's Pura Ulta river. Usually, there is water on the top and sand below. On this river, there is sand on the top. You dig a little, what you will find? Water. This river is known as Phalgu river. Dear devotees, Rupa Goswami is defining Phalgu Vairagya. Please hear carefully. What is Phalgu or false renunciation? Prapanchikataya buddhya. You see everything in the world as materialistic. There is nothing spiritual in the world. This entire world is material world. Everything is fit to be rejected, including Hari Sambandhi Vastunaha. People even reject things that can be used for the service of Shri Krishna. Why? Mumukshubhihi. Very quickly they want to go back home, back to Godhead. Jaldi se jaldi, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Parityago. And people want to give up something very quickly. This Vairagya is known as which Vairagya, dear devotees? Phalgu. Why is it Phalgu Vairagya? On surface it seems that they are very detached. But ultimately they are becoming detached so that they can go back to Godhead. And what will we do after going back to Godhead? Has anybody thought about this? Mahabhav Prabhu. Sorry, I am targeting you today. What will we do after going back home, back to Godhead? Service. Oh my God, that sounds how boring. How many want eternal service? Sounds like slavery. Isn't it, Mahabhav Prabhu? No. Tell me the actual reason. Why do we want to go back home, back to Godhead? And what will we get after associating with the Lord? Oh, yes. Now we come to the water under the sand, dear devotees. Yes, Mataji. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we are digging more water is coming out. To get rid of our miseries and to have an eternal ticket to Disneyland forever where we can stay happily forever. Dear devotees. Rupa Goswami says this is Phalgu Vairagya. You gave up enjoyment because in the end you want unlimited enjoyment. Hai ki nahi? Yahi to baat hai. This is which Vairagya, dear devotees? Phalgu Vairagya. This Vairagya is not appreciated by the previous acharyas. Vairagya should not take the driver's seat in our bhakti. Vairagya should always be a side product of bhakti. But I'll explain that more. Let's read the translation.
The complete rejection of all objects related to Hari by those desiring liberation in the spirit of considering such objects to be materialistic is known as Phalgu Vairagya.
Wonderful. Now, dear devotees, I would like to bring about the solution given by our previous acharyas. And this solution is such an elegant solution. When I first heard it, it really revolutionized my understanding of the entire topic. Because since the beginning of my bhakti, I was brought up with the understanding that first and foremost you have to cultivate renunciation, vairagya. Only if you are renounced enough are you eligible to be a good devotee. Have we all heard this, dear devotees? Yes or no? Yes, wonderful. Dear devotees, in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, there is a very small pastime. It gets over in 4 verses, but a very significant pastime. This is when Krishna was about 3.5 years old and he killed one demon, dear devotees. Do you know which demon he killed? Vatsasur. What is the meaning of Vatsa? Calf. Krishna was 3.5 years old. Nanda Maharaj gave him charge of herding the calves. Krishna took the calves along with his friends, and then Kamsa had sent a demon. The demon has no particular name, but because the demon took the form of a Vatsa, a calf, therefore Vyasadeva names the demon as what? Vatsasur. The demon disguised himself as a calf and entered into the herd of calves. After entering into the herd of calves, none of the cowherd boys could recognize that this calf is actually a demon. Only one person recognized, dear devotees. Who recognized? Krishna recognized. Krishna indicated to Balram, "Arey, this calf is very nice. And nowadays, how wonderful this calf." And then Krishna suddenly brought the calf near him, held the calf's 2 hind legs and swung it around, dear devotees, and threw the calf on a kapitha tree. Do you know what is kapitha? We should observe nature sometimes, dear devotees. Kapitha is a very nice tree available in India. In Hindi, it has a name, Kait. How many of you know what is Kait? Mataji knows Kait. Acha, I will tell you in English. Wood apple. See, when the Britishers came, they saw many fruits. But the Britishers knew one main fruit. Which fruit? Apple. So other fruits were named after what? Apple. So Kapitha is called which apple? And Tal is called, Talafal is called which apple? Ice apple. So wood apple, ice apple, all apples. But every tree has a unique name in Sanskrit. So he threw the Vatsa over a Kapitha tree. All the fruits fell down. And then that particular demon took its original form. The pastime ends there. Nothing specific related to lust in the pastime. But dear devotees, our previous Acharya, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. How many of us would like to learn about conquering lust from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Please raise your hands. So I also would like to learn. Once when he was in college, his name was Siddhanta Saraswati. Once he was in college, he formed a group of boys and he said, "We will take a vow, all of us will remain brahmachari throughout our lives." Only one person survived in the group, dear devotees. Can you guess whom? Everybody else said, okay, no, you be there. We will change ashram. He was the only one who managed to survive in the group. He really understood what is the meaning of brahmacharya, what it is to conquer lust. He says something about Vatsasura, dear devotees. He says that every demon that Krishna has killed, it has adhyatmik artha. It has a meaning which is relevant to our particular spiritual progress. He says, dear devotees, Vatsasur represents a particular demon in the heart, a particular evil tendency in the heart. This is the tendency known as lust. All right? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says something. He says, and these are his direct words, the neophyte is extremely susceptible to such evils. We know what is the meaning of susceptible? Yes. The neophyte can easily fall into this evil. They cannot be got rid of except by the mercy of Krishna. Dear devotees, in the entire group of cowherd boys, could anybody recognize Vatsasur? Who recognized him? So no matter how much we try to recognize the root of this particular disease in the heart, will we be successful by our own attempts? No. Only who can find and remove it, dear devotees? All right. See here, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the scripture, Shastra says, it is not in the power of man to ensure the immunity of boys and girls from sensuousness, except by the means of service to Krishna. This is declared to be the only effective and natural method. He is using 2 adjectives in the last sentence. What are the 2 adjectives? Effective Natural. Other methods are automatically the opposite. What is the opposite of effective? Ineffective. And what is the opposite of natural? Unnatural or artificial. Other methods of trying to conquer lust are ineffective and unnatural, artificial methods. The only natural method declared in the scriptures is what, dear devotees? Service to whom? Krishna. But all of us are rendering service to Krishna. Not that service. Service with genuine attachment to Krishna. I hope you are able to understand. Service with genuine attachment. What is the meaning of genuine attachment? Genuine attachment means one's own ego has become involved with Shri Krishna. Krishna is mine and I belong to Krishna. Not that Krishna, you are there, I am here. You know, I hope you are very great, I am very fallen. No. Genuine service to Krishna has to be there. That is when you can easily overcome. Please see ahead what he says. Now his English is a little difficult. I will try to make it easy. All right? Please, I will request your one-pointed attention here. He says the puritanic ideal of Godhead. He is pointing towards the Christian church which was preaching in India at that time. Because according to the Christian church, adultery is a big sin in Christianity. Adultery and lust is considered to be a big sin. And according to Christian philosophy, you should curb this lust in order to become a good Christian. He says this is the puritanic ideal of Godhead, is a conception which owes its origins to persons who are elderly, although honestly anxious enough to establish kingdom of God on earth. He says there are people, because he is referring to the church, they want to establish Christianity all over earth. Therefore, they want everybody to become very pure in their habits. No lust. But if you scratch the thin coating on the surface of their sage and sober scheme, if you scratch little bit into their ideas, you only detect the rotten arrangement for securing the maximum of sense enjoyment. Now, dear devotees, some of us might have heard of Christianity. Can anybody tell me, in Christian philosophy, in one sentence, how do you attain perfection? Mahabha Prabhu. Say. Accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Chalo, fine, I am willing to do that. Then? And I don't have to do anything else? Okay, love thy neighbor, love thyself, avoid the cardinal sins. All right? And then what will happen to me after that? Heaven. And what do I do in heaven? Arre wah! This sounds like going back home, back to Godhead. Hai ki nahi? This sounds like another version of going back home, back to Godhead. Dear devotees, this entire affair is present in all religions across the world. Transactional religion. You know what is transactional religion? You give something to Bhagavan, Bhagavan gives something to you. You scratch Bhagavan's back, Bhagavan scratches your back. Every morning, come at 4 o'clock and start to fire away 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles. For the rest of my life, after I die, in front of Krishna, I will say, okay, Krishna, I got my currency. 40 years of chanting Hare Krishna and 4 regulative principles. Now, can I exchange this for going back home, back to Godhead? Bolo, hai ki nahi? Dear devotees, all forms of religion, including Vedic religion, have some or the other conception of attaining maximum sense enjoyment in the afterlife. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says something. The spurious brahmacharya ideal. Does anybody know what is the meaning of spurious? Spurious? Achha. In medicine stores, sometimes previously the chemists used to keep some nice bottles of various colors, but those bottles will not be filled with medicines, they'll be filled with water. And if you take that as medicine, spurious में हिंदी में कहते हैं जाली. You know what is जाली? Huh? नकली, duplicate. Spurious brahmacharya ideal, as misconceived by its worldly supporters, embodies this puritanic outlook. Right now you be pure. Right now you be brahmachari. Right now you be free of lust. Because after you die, then you will go back to heaven, or back to Godhead. And what will you do there? Enjoy. Acha. Same case with other religions, Islam. Now, Jannat. Acha. You know already, Prabhuji. He comparative religion expert, our Mahabhav Prabhu. Last year I realized he is very expert in comparative religions. So, Mahabhav Prabhu, is Islam transactional in nature? Yes. Is Christianity transactional in nature? Achha. Vedic religion also transactional in nature? Yes, 16 rounds, 4 records. Then why am I chanting? So many years I am wasting. If after all this I don't go back to God, what is the use? इतना तो मिनिमम होना ही चाहिए, है ना कि इतना. Yes or no, Prabhuji? अरे Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, what a spurious idea. Dear devotees, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, you don't need to become a brahmachari. He says something very revolutionary. The scriptures indeed enjoin that everyone should serve Godhead from the womb. This is the real meaning of brahmacharya. Dear devotees, what is the meaning of brahmachari? In Sanskrit, I am telling you, please repeat after me. Brahma charati iti brahmachari. Brahma charati, one who charati, always dwells in the absolute truth. That person is known as what? And Brahma janati, one who knows the absolute truth, iti brahmana. So brahmachari means one who always dwells in the absolute truth. Dear devotees, when all of us were in the womb of our mothers, Shastra says that in the womb of the mother, the living entity does something. What does the living entity do? Prays to whom? Bhagavan. What does the living entity pray to Bhagavan? I promise you, I will serve you. Like I am meditating right now, I will meditate on you after I come out. Dear devotees, in the womb, is the living entity absorbed in the supreme absolute truth? Yes or no? We are all brahmacharis by birth. We don't need to attain brahmacharya externally. We are all brahmacharis by birth. But somebody has confused us that brahmacharya actually means ascetic practices. You know what is ascetic practices? Can anybody, Mahabhav Prabhu, what is the meaning of ascetic practices? Can you simplify the term, Prabhuji? No. Okay. What the yogis do. You know what the yogis do? They eat less. What the yogis do? The yogis try to curb their senses. The yogis, they try all these practices for conquering lust. Somebody confused us in the way that actually ascetic practices, trying to starve yourself of sense gratification, is actually the path to attaining brahmacharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says something. The ascetic dreams of obtaining mastery over nature by method of controlling his senses. There is no reference to the service of Godhead or to any spiritual issue. Please tell me, dear devotees, a yogi controls his senses for what purpose? Okay, dedicating oneself to the path of yoga. After perfecting oneself in yoga, what can one get? Enlightenment, higher planets, and also liberation. And after attaining higher planets and liberation, what does the yogi get? Enjoyment. Where is the service of Bhagwan in all of this? Bolo? Isn't this transactional? Where is love of Bhagwan in all of this? In curbing the senses, in eating less, in following ascetic practices, is there any connection to service of Bhagwan? Or is it only about attaining mastery over material nature? I hope you are able to understand. There is no connection with prema of Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, now Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes a revolutionary statement. Please pay very close attention to this statement. He says, we have had many occasions to explain that the spiritual is transcendental. No mundane consideration can form any part of spiritual training or conduct. It is not a spiritual affair to be even able to control one's carnal or sex desires. That last sentence needs a repetition. Please repeat after me. It is not a spiritual affair to be even able to control one's carnal desires. I hope you are able to understand. One who suppresses the senses and thinks I have won over material nature, there is nothing spiritual in this. Wasn't Saubhari Muni trying in Srimad Bhagavatam? How many of us know about Saubhari Muni? Yes, Prabhu, wasn't Saubhari Muni the perfect brahmachari? Yes, he was. And what happened to Saubhari Muni? Can you please tell me? Okay, Saubhari Muni was such a big ascetic, such a big tapasvi. Underneath the water he was meditating, no contact with human society. Imagine if we do like that, wouldn't we become brahmacharis immediately? Leave society, you become brahmachari. That's the easiest way. Underneath water he is meditating, starving his body like an ascetic. Suddenly, since his eyes are half open, he sees something. He sees a pair of fish who are mating, and suddenly, just by seeing that, who arises in his heart? Kamadev. Kamadev says, he was laughing, Kamadev was laughing. I was waiting for this moment to enter into your spiritual practice. Kamadev enters into his yoga practice, and by that very yoga practice, Kamadev defeats him. Saubhari Muni comes outside and gets married 50 times. How many times? 50 times. So dear devotees, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says it is not even a spiritual affair to be able to control one's senses. Finally, the master statement. Please repeat after me. Such self-control itself is indeed automatically produced by the awakening of the soul. This, dear devotees, is how kama or lust is conquered. Automatically, when we become attached to Sri Krishna, that is the time when lust is conquered. It is not conquered by ascetic practices, by starving the body, mind, or words. The most formidable enemy is conquered by bringing somebody who is stronger to him. And that stronger personality is Sri Krishna, and direct loving service to Sri Krishna can conquer this enemy very, very easily. You don't have to put separate effort. Dear devotees, if we don't take this path, which path? Loving service to whom? And instead try to practice separate vairagya. Can you give me some examples of separately practicing vairagya? Okay, giving up wealth, Anything else? I'll give you a few examples. I'll sleep on the floor. All right? I'll not take even a small cushion. Why? Yeah, I am starving my body so that the body will produce lesser and lesser demands. If we separately do this, independent of seva of Krishna, there is a big risk. Rupa Goswami is going to speak about it directly. I am specifying the direct words of Sri Rupa Goswami. Please repeat after me. Please say, Bhakti Pravishtasya Vairagyam Chitta Kathinya Hetutaya Heyatvena Uktam. Bhakti Pravishtasya, for a person who has just entered into bhakti. Vairagyam, if they try to overdo these ascetic practices, overdo their vairagya, chitta kathinya, suddenly they will find their heart has become what? Hard. And when that heart has become very hard, heyatvena, they will not be able to appreciate bhakti. Dear devotees, lust arises in one place, mainly in the body. In which place does lust arise? When one sees a person of the opposite gender with lustful eyes, immediately the first transformation is in the heart. And because the first transformation is in the heart, it is the heart which is the sitting place of lust. Some people think, I will scrape my heart with vairagya, with the sandpaper of vairagya. I will eat less, I will sleep on the floor, and I will force myself to become a vairagi. But dear devotees, when you scrape something with a sandpaper, what happens to an object which you scrape with sandpaper? It starts, it gets getting smaller and smaller until a point comes when that object completely. So if you scrape your heart more and more with the sandpaper of vairagya, one fine day will come when we will lose our heart. I hope you are able to understand. And this is why this heart, which is the sitting place of lust, is also the object which can experience bhakti ras. Don't scrape your heart with the sandpaper of vairagya. While scraping your heart with this sandpaper of vairagya, you may end up losing your heart. And when one loses their heart, they are no longer able to appreciate bhakti. You will see many people who have entered into the path of bhakti. After a few years, they say, it has not worked for me. Have you seen such people? Yes, it has not worked for me. Dear devotees, you should understand that their heart has become very hard. Why has their heart become hard? Due to many reasons. But one of the prominent reasons is over-cultivation of vairagya. Kindly read the translation.
For a person who has entered into bhakti, the over-cultivation of renunciation is to be rejected because it hardens the heart.
Not only that, Sri Rupa Goswami says, if somebody's heart is very hard, they will not be able to relish one particular ras. How many rasas are there in bhakti? Can anybody tell me which are the 5 rasas? Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya. It is not Sakhya, it is Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Rupa Goswami defines all 5 rasas. When it comes to defining Madhurya rasa, Rupa Goswami gives a warning in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Please repeat after me. Nivrittanupayogitva Duruhatvad rasa. Ayam rasa, this Madhurya ras, Nivritta, those who are very detached, Anupayogitvat, it is useless for those who are too detached. Duruhatvad, very difficult for them to understand. Ayam rasa. Please read the translation, Prabhu.
This Madhurya rasa is unfit to be relished by those who are too detached.
What is the meaning of too detached? They have scraped their heart again and again with vairagya to such a point that in the material world now they see disgust everywhere. Everything is disgusting for them. Nothing relishable in the material world. Jiva Goswami explains further in commentary. Nivritteshu, these people have become very detached. Prakrita, Shringara, Rasa Samadrishtya. They see everywhere the affairs between men and women are materialistic and to be given up. They spit on those affairs. Asmad Rasad Virakteshu Bhagavatadapi. Even when they read in Srimad Bhagavatam the loving affairs of whom? Krishna and the gopis of Vrindavan. They think this will also lead me into material life. These people have become such renunciates that they don't even want to relish rasa when it is given in the Bhagavatam. Anupayogitvad. Rupa Goswami says these people are disqualified from relishing which ras? Madhurya ras. Kindly read the translation, Prabhuji.
Among those who are detached, there are individuals who think of all madhurya ras as being similar to mundane romance. Thus, such individuals stay away from madhurya ras, even if it is given in the Bhagavatam. Such renunciates are ineligible, and this rasa is not suitable for them.
What a big warning, dear devotees. Rupa Goswami compares this over renunciate to a camel. You know why he compares him to a camel? A camel does not eat mangoes. Have you seen a camel? Does a camel eat mangoes? A camel eats what, dear devotees? Thorns. And when the camel eats thorns, the thorns pierce his tongue and something comes out. What comes out? And then the camel thinks, wow, what flavor. Similarly, the person who is over renunciate, whenever he sees the material world, he rejects it. This is not good. That is not good. Everything is not good. And then by this criticism of the material world, he starts deriving pleasure. I hope you are able to understand. This is the blood coming out of the criticism of the material world, which he thinks is very good. He has no idea of what is positive. He can only critique what is negative. There is no idea of anything positive in the life of such a person. Therefore, dear devotees, the bhakti yogi is neither too attached nor too detached. The bhakti yogi follows the middle path. Neither too attached nor too detached. Dear devotees, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says something in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam directly. Please repeat after me. Tasman mad bhakti yuktasya yogino vai madatmanah na jnanam na cha vairagyam prayah shreyo bhavediha. Tasmad mad bhakti yuktasya. Therefore, somebody who is performing my bhakti yoga, yogino vai madatmanah, somebody who is dedicated to me, na jnanam, they should not follow which process? Na cha vairagyam, they should not follow which process? Prayah shreyo bhaved. No, these are not the methods of attaining perfection on the path of bhakti. Bhagavatam 11, 20, 31. Please read the translation, Prabhu.
Therefore, for a devotee engaged in my loving service, with mind fixed on me, the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world.
Dear devotees, now how will we get free of lust if we don't separately cultivate renunciation? Main question, elephant in the room. How do we get rid of lust if we don't cultivate renunciation separately? Please understand, renunciation is required little bit only in the beginning of bhakti. How much renunciation? Please hear. This material world is not a good place. I should find something better. I hope you are able to understand. Did all of us have this renunciation when we entered into the path? Yes, some of us were born into the path, but many of us entered into the path. All of us felt there is something wrong with the world and therefore we want to practice spiritual life. This was the renunciation that is needed. Baki renunciation, remaining renunciation will be developed automatically. You don't need to develop it separately. How do we develop renunciation automatically? Please hear, dear devotees. Sri Jiva Goswami says, Yad Amita Rasa Shastre Vyanji Vaidagdhya Vrindam. Dear devotees, take all the rasa literature of this material world. Take all the romantic literature of this material world. Mahabharata Prabhu, which is the greatest romantic novel to be written on planet Earth? Romeo and Juliet. इधर ही गाड़ी खत्म हो गया हमारा, है ना? रोमियो. अरे there are Nal Damayanti, have you heard? Dushyant Shakuntala, no. Yayati, Devyani, no. So many are there. Okay, no problem. Chalo. Romeo and Juliet. Have you read Romeo and Juliet? What happens at the end of Romeo and Juliet? Everyone dies. Chalo, theek hai, huh? No problem. Jiva Goswami says, Yadamita rasa shastre vyanji vaidagdhya vrindam. But why do people love this tale of Romeo and Juliet so much? Because there are so many flavors and emotions of love in that novel. Isn't it so? Romeo and Juliet, don't they experience such wonderful emotional sentiments in the novel? Obviously. Take all the sentiments from all the romantic novels in the world. Tad anumapina vettum kalpate kami loka. The ordinary person walking on the street cannot experience even a tiny fraction of what is described even in the material romantic literature. Do you agree? How many of us have experienced in our life love like Romeo and Juliet? Please raise your hands. Arey, I forgot. You are Hare Krishnas. You don't fall in love. No. Chalo, I should have reframed my question better. How many of you have seen people in your life? When it is not about us, it is about other people, then answering becomes easier. How many of you have seen people in your life who have experienced love like Romeo and Juliet? Mahabharata Prabhu? Look at the condition of the conditioned soul. They write such big literatures, and when it comes to reality, they can't even experience a tiny fraction of what they have written in their own literature. Isn't this the truth, Prabhuji? Yes. Dekho. Then Sri Jiva Goswami says, Tad akhilamapi yasya prema sindhau na kinchin. Now that entire romantic expertise of the material world is nothing in front of the ocean of love of a particular divine couple. Which divine couple is that, dear devotees? Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. See the pastimes that are described by the previous acharyas. Oh my God. What wonderful spectrum of pastimes are described. Pastimes of union, pastimes of separation. Dear devotees, when we start understanding the entire spectrum of pastimes, suddenly something happens to us. Please hear carefully, this is very important. Suddenly something happens to us. I will give you an example. Let's say a person goes to watch a drama on Ram Leela. Okay, Mahabharata Prabhu? A person goes to watch a drama on Ram Leela. The scene is going, Bharat is placing the slippers of Bhagavan Ram on his head and is walking towards Ayodhya back. Suddenly the person sitting next to you, you see that person is crying. You will say to this person, why are you crying? You are not Bharat. Your brother is sitting right next to you. Why are you crying? Hai ki nahi? It is not that reason. The reason is because on the stage, something is flowing in the heart of the actor who is performing the role of Bharat. What is flowing in the heart of the actor who is performing the role of Bharat? Emotion. It has a technical Sanskrit name. Please repeat. Ras. What is flowing in the heart of that actor? And the person who sees that actor, he becomes sahriday. What is the meaning of sahriday? Like-minded. With anyone, with that person on the stage. Therefore, a generalized version of that emotion also enters into the heart of the spectator. I hope you're able to understand. In drama theory, this is called, please repeat, sadharanikaran. What is it called? generalization of a specific emotion. Because this person is not Bharat. He knows he is not Bharat. But still he is able to experience a generalized version of the emotion which is experienced by whom? Bharat. Acha. Now, let's take this example, and you are reading Sri Rupa Goswami's literature. Rupa Goswami is describing Sudur Pravas. Sudur Pravas means Krishna is going to Dwaraka. Krishna is going to Mathura on the chariot. Whose chariot is Krishna going to Mathura? Akrura's. Hear carefully, dear devotees, I am making the scene. Okay? Please hear carefully. Krishna is standing on the chariot of Akrura. The gopis are lying in front of the chariot. This is the reason why Akrura is not able to move ahead. Srimati Radharani is just next to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna says something to Srimati Radharani. He speaks the biggest lie on the planet, dear devotees. Which is the biggest lie? I'll come back. He's lying through his teeth, dear devotees. Has it ever happened, Sri Radha says to him, has it ever happened in history that a person who was a cowherd and then became a king again returned back to becoming a cowherd? Has it ever happened? Krishna, don't lie. Krishna, you're very horrible at lying. Don't lie. I know today you are going to Mathura in order to kill that particular person. Which person? And Kamsa is the ruler of Mathura. After you kill the king of Mathura, who will be the new king? You will be the new king. And it has never happened in history that a king has returned back to become a cowherd. Don't lie, Krishna. Can you do one thing for us, Krishna? When you go there, please visit the various holy lakes in Mathura. And can you send us one gift? Dear devotees, can you imagine what gift Sri Radha asked for? She said, till today, we did not ask you for any gift, neither you gave us any gift. When you go there, kindly go to all the holy lakes in Mathura. Can you send us a gift of 3 palms of water? Dear devotees, 3 palms of water are received as gifts only by those who are dead in the afterlife. Till now you could not give us anything. Can you send us a gift from Mathura? 3 palms of water. How do you feel in your heart? In your real life, will you ever be able to experience this emotion? In all the love affairs, we pray you have good love life, but anyway. In your entire love life, will you be able to experience such emotion, do you think? When you are able to experience the emotion that you will never ever be able to experience in material world, the heart becomes convinced. Actually, param drishtva nivartate. What is the meaning of param drishtva nivartate? When you see something higher, you automatically give up the lower. Oh my goodness, there are such varieties of love. Hey, but you are not the one who is asking Krishna to send 3 palms of water. Why are you crying? Because he is experiencing something. Which term did I say? Sadharanikaran, generalized variation of, because he has become sahriday, like-minded with one character there. With whom is he becoming like-minded? Srimati Radharani. He is empathizing with Srimati Radha, not with Krishna. Okay, in that scene, who is to be empathized with? Sri Radha. After empathizing with her, just as our particular person in the audience who empathized with Bharat, therefore he was able to experience the generalized emotion that Bharat experiences. Similarly, by empathizing with Sri Radha, they are able to experience a glimpse of the emotions, the variety of love that is experienced by whom? Sri Radha. How many of us would like to sign up for this? Please raise your hands. Baki ko don't want to experience, huh? Baki want Romeo and Juliet? Then the knot in the heart is slackened. Acha, there is no love like this in this world. There is no love to be experienced like this in the world. When the mind finally realizes this, automatically one becomes a brahmachari, dear devotees. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? Lust should be driven away in a friendly manner. Jao, bhaiya, jao. Tata, goodbye. I have something very nice with me. I hope you are able to understand. That is the way one becomes a natural brahmachari. Like which acharya? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In the entire college group, everybody signed up for becoming brahmachari, but only how many people remained in the group? Because that one person knew what the others did not know. Brahmacharya is not about ascetic practices. Brahmacharya is about service of Bhagavan. I hope you are able to understand. And not just any service of Bhagavan. Which service of Bhagavan? Loving seva. Your emotions have to get involved with Bhagavan. Not just, any seva. Your emotions have to get involved with Bhagavan. That is today I tried to get some of your emotions involved in one pastime. There are so many pastimes. If I start speaking, we'll have to have many, many weeks. But today that time is not there, dear devotees. But today my purpose is to undo one knot. The knot is that by following ascetic practices, we will be able to become a good devotee. That is not the case. I will end with one final incident. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is something mentioned. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was told by the devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every night you are performing Sankirtan. At whose home? Srivasangan. In Srivasangan, you are performing Sankirtan. There is one very nice brahmachari. And this brahmachari, he drinks only milk. Survives only on milk. Can we invite this brahmachari? Mahaprabhu, you know what was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's answer? No. Why? Tell me. Okay. Simply by not drinking milk, simply by not eating anything, and simply by surviving on milk, Mahaprabhu said, do you think he is eligible for relishing rasa? Simply by avoiding the negatives, do you think he has achieved the positive? Mahaprabhu never allowed that brahmachari to enter into the pastime of Sankirtan at Srivasangan. So this is what all of us should take care, dear devotees. Don't scrape your heart. Alright? Don't scrape your heart. If some devotees are not able to control their senses through the path of bhakti, Krishna says there is still no danger for the devotee. Badhyamanopi mad bhakto vishayair ajitendriyah prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayair na abhibhuyate. Krishna says to Uddhav, please read.
My dear Uddhava, if my devotee has not fully conquered his senses, he may be harassed by material desires, but because of his unflinching devotion for me, he will not be defeated by sense gratification.
If my devotee is harassed by what? And has not fully conquered his, and Krishna should say, well, he should stop practicing bhakti. First conquer your senses and then come to me. Isn't it so? What is Krishna's attitude towards a devotee who is not able to conquer their senses? This verse is Krishna's direct reply, as it is, without any addition. What should that devotee do, Mahaprabhu? Yes. Should he practice asceticism or should he practice loving devotion? That is Krishna's own version, dear devotees. That is what Bhagavan is expecting from us. Okay? Because many people will say, you are You are defeated by sense gratification because you don't chant all your rounds sitting in one place. Ascetic practices. No. We are defeated by sense gratification because we don't have attachment to Krishna. That is the actual answer. All right? So, thank you very much, dear devotees, for kindly giving me your time. Yadatra skhalitam kinchid vidvamsah purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchid tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchid. If there's anything wrong that I spoke, vidvamsah, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If there's anything nice in the talk that you found, please remember, tad guroreva. It all came from my Gurujanas. Me nahi. It didn't come from me. All right? Thank you so much, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So, Prabhu, do we have time for Q&A? Yes. How much time should we give? All right, okay. So we have Q&A now. Yes, Mataji has the first question. Yes, Mataji. How do we cultivate attachment to Krishna? The answer to this query is perhaps the biggest secret of spiritual life. All of us are here because International Society for Krishna. And how will we become Krishna conscious? Actually, this is your question. How will we become attached to Krishna? We will become attached to Krishna when, through the path of bhakti, we will soften our heart. The heart has to become soft, not hard. Sometimes on the path of bhakti, due to various experiences, our heart becomes very hard. This is a heart in which no transformation of bhakti can take place. First and foremost, we have to soften our heart on this path, and especially it is best to perform bhakti under the guidance of a sadhu who has already reached the goal. Somebody who's already attached to Krishna, their attachment rubs onto us. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very nice statement. Mataji, I'll show you this statement in the Bhagavatam. This statement says, Bhavo hi bhavakaranam. You can see here, Bhavo hi bhavakaranam. You can see here that word for word. What is the meaning of bhava, dear devotees? One's attitude. He, indeed, bhavakaranam, the cause of rebirth. Another meaning is, one's attitude is the cause of one's achievement. I'll give you an example. See, those of us who are sitting behind the mic and are speakers, we know one thing. Bhavo, the emotion that I carry in my heart, will be transmitted to the audience. Let's say, if in the morning I am very frustrated because something wrong happened with me. Oh my God, I was traveling and I got into a fight with somebody at the airport. My heart is very distressed. And with that, I come to the lecture. And then I welcome devotees. I hope all of you are okay. Chalo. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Let's sing, and then I sing the Bhagavatam verse. And the material world is like that. Krishna says, chant your 16 rounds, go back to Godhead for regular. Whatever mood I am having in my heart, that mood will be transmitted to the audience. Yes or no? Unless there is genuineness in the mood in my heart, I cannot inculcate genuineness in the heart of the audience. Those of you who have ever performed the seva of speaking behind the mic, you will know whatever emotion we have in our heart is transmitted to the audience. If we are dissatisfied with our own lecture, what will happen to the poor audience? So, when we come in contact with a sadhu who has already achieved the goal, what goal are you looking for, Mataji? Then, by associating with that sadhu, bhavo hi bhavakaranam, some of that mood rubs onto us. And then some of that mood rubs onto us and we get that little taste, initial taste. Once we get that initial taste, then one hankers for more. Hankers for more, then they try to look up how to find this. That is when they end up achieving it. That is one good way to attain prema. So Mataji, I hope that answers your query to some degree of satisfaction. ठीक है. चलिए. Anybody else? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes. Wonderful. Are in the Bhagavad Gita, so many statements for controlling the senses are to be seen. Isn't it so? What do we do with all those statements? Are, what statements we didn't tackle only? Huh? No. See, Prabhu. In the beginning of the talk, I said something. Most of the religions in the world are transactional in nature. Isn't it so? Isn't a lot of the Bhagavad Gita also transactional in nature? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam, and in return, what will I do? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyam. Transaction right there in the final statement of the Gita. Isn't it? Mokshayishyami. Krishna is promising the fourth goal of life. Which is the fourth goal of life? Moksha. Dear devotees, when the Bhagavatam begins, Vyasadeva is thoroughly dissatisfied. Bhagavad Gita was a part of Mahabharata. Didn't Vyasadeva write the Mahabharata and then became dissatisfied? Narad Muni comes to Vyasadeva and says, he just jokingly says, actually Narad Muni should have said, Vyasadeva, I see you are dissatisfied. No, Narad Muni doesn't. Vyasadeva, are you dissatisfied? Huh? No, Vyasadeva, yeah, I am very dissatisfied. Vyasadeva, in all the 17 Puranas you wrote and Mahabharata you wrote, everything was transactional in nature. Can you not write something, at least some literature which is non-transactional in nature? Some form of spirituality which is non-transactional in nature? Then Sri Vyasadeva wrote one literature. Which literature? In the second verse of the Bhagavatam, Dharmaha projhita kaitavotra. All religiosity which is cheating is rejected in this literature. Which literature? Srila Sridhar Swami comments on it. Please repeat after me. This is Sridhar Swami's commentary quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Dharmaha projhita. Cheating religion is rejected, excessively rejected. The prefix pra is there. Sridhar Swami says, please repeat. Pra shabdena moksha abhisandhir api nirastaha. Prabhu, kindly read the translation loudly. This is where the Bhagavatam begins. What does Bhagavad Gita promise at the end? And how does Bhagavatam begin? A rejection of moksha. We have to understand, Prabhu, that when we advance to the level of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will have to give up other literature that do not stand up to the same level as Bhagavatam. When the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam begins, Parikshit Maharaj has already heard the previous canto. Which canto? 5th. At the end of the 5th canto, some terrible things were described. Does anybody know what was at the end of the 5th canto? Hellish planets. Parikshit Maharaj is a little terrified. Then he starts asking in the beginning of the 6th canto, these people in the material world, they commit sinful activities again and again. They go to holy places, take a bath, and then again commit sin. It's like elephants throwing mud. What is the solution? Sri Shukdev Goswami tests Parikshit Maharaj. Please see the test of Shukdev Goswami. Six 1:13. Please repeat after me. Tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha tamena cha. Parikshit, tapasa. What should you perform? Tapasya. Brahmacharyena. You should be perfect brahmachari. Shamena damena. What is sham and dama? Control of senses, regulation of senses. Parikshit Maharaj looks at Shukdev Goswami with a dissatisfied mood. Dissatisfied mood. Later, a few verses later, Shukdev Goswami sees Parikshit Maharaj is dissatisfied, then gives the actual solution. Six 1:15. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya Vasudeva Parayanah Agham Dhunvanti Kartsnena Niharimava Bhaskarah. Prabhu, read the translation. Only a rare person, Prabhu, only a rare person, Kechit, please read. Only the rare person who has understood the conclusion will perform only and only one yoga. Which yoga? Tapasa Brahma. This is 6.1.15. Tapasa Brahmacharyana was 6.1.13. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in commentary, Parikshit Maharaj is being tested if he is falling for Vairagya. Parikshit Maharaj dissatisfied after hearing those verses. Shukdev Goswami notices, my disciple is dissatisfied. He has passed the test. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya. Only the rare person who understands that only by loving devotional service you can uproot sinful activities with no possibility that they will ever revive. Only that person. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, Prabhupada translates. So, Prabhu, what you read in the Bhagavad Gita is a mixture of many yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, even in Bhakti Yoga, lot of transactions are there. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita was specified to be graduate literature. Bhagavad Gita was preliminary. And then you graduate by reading which literature? And when you read the Bhagavatam, some of the previous conceptions you have to unlearn. I hope you are able to. That is how mature learning is. Mature learning means some previous conceptions we have to unlearn. Okay, I'll give you an example and then I will conclude. When children are small, they come to us and they ask us, how did I come into this world? So we tell, one day we were praying to Bhagavan and suddenly there was a knock outside the door. We opened the door and we found you. Okay. Later the child has to unlearn this. And then that is how the child grows into an adult. Similarly, there were some concepts taught to us which were helpful for us in the beginning. It reinforced the idea that the material world is a terrible place. But later, when we have become fixed on the path of bhakti, we should come to know that our religion is not transactional. We don't want anything from Krishna. We don't want anything from Krishna in return of what we are doing. Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. As people surrender to me, I reciprocate accordingly. And then when we go to Krishna, Krishna will ask, your good name, Prabhuji? Kanai Gopal Prabhu. You chanted 16 rounds every day of your life after Diksha, followed 4 regulative principles. What do you want? I can open the doors of the spiritual world for you. What do you want? What will be our answer, Prabhu? On that day, you have to remember what Sridhar Swami said. Prashabdena moksha abhisandhirapi nirastaha. Through the prefix pra, even the desire for was rejected. So then what will you say to Krishna, Prabhuji? Please repeat after me. I don't want anything except for your prema. This is the day Krishna will be defeated. I hope this is how you defeat Krishna, by giving up all expectations. He is the most wealthiest person and he has that ego. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiv. As people surrender, I will give much more. How do you defeat a person who has the ego of reciprocating? Bolo, bolo. You look into their face and tell them one thing. I don't want anything from you. I just want to have a good relationship with you. I hope you are able to understand. So this is how you conquer Krishna. This is how bhakti conquers Krishna. Giving up the desire for liberation, for going back home, back to Godhead. That's a very big achievement on the path of bhakti. Very big achievement. Those who have attained this stage, Mukti will run behind them with her hands folded. Please accept. Kanai Gopal Prabhu, why did you say I don't want anything? You could have asked for me. But you said I don't want anything. That is the nature of Mukti. Don't run behind her. She will come behind you. She will come behind you. Prema is what we want. So I hope that answers your query. ठीक है? Chalo. We should pause, Prabhu? This is a good time to pause, or should we continue? Oh, wow. Muktir Mukulitanjali Sevatesmin. By serving you, liberation is waiting with her hands folded on the door. Can I say one thing? I'll just drop a small hint and I will. There are two desires which give maximum trouble to a devotee. Alright, please repeat after me. The first desire is bhukti. Bhukti means desire for material enjoyment. And second is mukti, the desire to go back home, back to Godhead. These two desires give the maximum troubles to devotees. Even the desire to go back home, back to Godhead is one of the greatest sources of trouble in the life of the devotee. Why am I getting up in the morning? Because if I don't get up, I will not be able to go back to Godhead. Why am I chanting my rounds? Because if I don't chant, I will not be able to go back to Godhead. Are Bapre. Rupa Goswami says, Bhukti Mukti Spriha Yavat Pishachi. Like a pishach, like a ghost, it has overtaken my heart. Give up this desire. Perform bhakti only for the sake of prema. That's the mature Gaudiya Vaishnava. So I hope. ठीक है, चलेगा. You wanted to say something quick, Prabhuji? Yeah. Does Rupa Goswami says atyahar or ahar? Atyahar, right? What is the meaning of atyahar? Too much. I told you, na? Bhakti yoga is middle path. Neither too much attachment nor too much detachment. I will show you. I did not say middle path without any proof. Yadrichaya matkathadau Jata Shraddhastu Yah Puman Na Nirvinno Nati Sakto Bhakti yogosya siddhidah. Mahaprabhu, please read loudly.
If someone or other by good fortune one develops, if somehow or other by good fortune one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, such a person being neither very disgusted with nor very much attached to material life should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion to me.
Na nirvinno, neither too disgusted, na atisakto, neither too attached. See, these verses, many people may not show to you. There are verses where devotees will show you, fully detached. Tapasa brahmacharyana shamena chadamini. Are Baba, that's a test. Neither too attached, nor too detached. Atyahara means you become too attached or detached? Attached. Then you be not eligible for bhakti yoga, then you are eligible for karma yoga. Too detached, you are not eligible for bhakti yoga, you are eligible for jnana yoga. Neither too attached nor too detached, you are eligible for that yoga on the middle path. Which yoga is that? Bhakti yoga. That is the answer. Alright? Some people say atyahara, solution to atyahara is alpahara, eating very less. No. That is not the solution. Okay? I hope that answered your query. Chalo, okay. Now we have answered all the queries. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna devotees. Such a wonderful class. Like Naika Prabhu rightly said, this is not an easy topic. And we often never talk about this topic, but it was wonderful. Devotees can remain seated, please. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Please be seated, dear devotees. Prabhu is speaking something important. Please give attention. Yes.
So we are very grateful that we get a very Shastric perspective on such topics that are not often talked about. Neither we have qualification to, discuss amongst ourselves based on the praman that Prabhu shared with us throughout his talk. So I think hopefully all of us had a lot of takeaways. Tomorrow again, Prabhu will be speaking in the Sunday Feast program, and I hope that you all can come prepared with the inner questions that you have, that you desperately want to get answers for. Tomorrow will be yet another opportunity. For the next 20 minutes or so, I would ask Prabhu to lead us into Kirtan, but we'll stay seated. And this Kirtan will be dedicated to the health of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, as many of us read the messages throughout the day that Maharaj's health is not well. So let us all come together in unison with our hearts, pray to Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari as to whatever their desire might be for Maharaj's health, let that happen. I would ask everybody to come closer, just come closer, come in the front, and we'll be chanting together. And Prabhu, if you don't mind leading us into the Kirtan. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivakacharya Stroh Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivakacharya Stroh Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai Brihad Mridanga Ki Jai Samaved Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine. Pralada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatangana khalaye, Shilatangana khalaye, Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha, O Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Adbhuta
time has come for prasadam. So thank you all for joining us this evening. I know it got a little bit delayed. Hopefully tomorrow we'll start on time and finish on time. Prasadam is ready. So we're going to chant Prasadam prayers, but today's Ekadasi, so we're not chanting the whole prayer. Only the first paragraph, if the screen shows up. But we can all chant together. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Sarva Punya Patan Rajan Vishwasya Vajayate Bas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.